Cursed cards and relics, sure. But what about the basement whale? The mushroom-controlled rats? The player, cursed to forever ascend the spire. Just how cursed is Slay the Spire? Generally not good at games. I used curse games, that's what I do now. Space basement whale, hello. Gamble away all my money for 2 random cards? Yes. Use the rage to squash slimes? We have seen this before, in another universe, where I'm a tiny goblin boy and I throw balls into the face holes of slimes. But here the slimes are split. One of them has the face hole for eating, and the other has the face hole, what makes you see good. That's a tiny amount of curse already. One of them can see, one of them can eat. Pick your own curse. Which is worse? Hitting everyone is... I don't see that very much. I say, having not played the game in a very long time. This is really a half-blind run, because I have played this before, but it's been many years. I never got very far. We can use the rage card again to deal with what I assume is the son of the basement whale. My brain always goes to space whale, but he's in a basement, so it's a space basement whale. But why is there a spacement whale? Spacement whale. Okay, that's a faster way to say it, maybe. That's hooking me up with some kind of deals to then send me off into the spire. Why am I climbing a spire I'm supposed to slay? And why am I being bitten in the ankles by the son of the space basement whale? Many questions that science cannot answer. We find a hole in the floor, a giant serpent offering to curse me for 175 cash. Normally I don't get paid to be cursed, I'm just cursed as it is, so this is a fantastic deal. And surely the snake is my new best friend and nothing will go horribly wrong. But back to the whale. It was tiny, and then someone cursed it with gigantism, and now it is the foundation of the tower. So if I slay the whale instead of slay the spire, maybe that's a follow-up game in 15 years. The tower will collapse, so I will have slain the spire, and surely that's easier. A whale has fleshy things that you can poke a sword into. A tower is slightly harder to stab, and all I brought is a toothpick sword with what to stab people. And he has already brought someone's spine and skull and ribcage. That's a very fancy sword. Not really my style. But he has already brutally stabbed or ripped someone apart. Skill card makes him angry, makes him slap me harder. Maybe we can work around that. This is where some big brain strategy has to happen. Not just talking about random curses. I wonder what happened to this guy though. He's a big red dude. Was he born like that? Did the whale send him in here to kill me? Is the whale a double agent? 24 damage though. This is pretty bad already. Okay. The elite's actually a challenge. Especially if you don't know what you're doing. And if you're watching this and you do know what you're doing, you can look very cool and smart on the internet by teaching me how to do things slightly better. I'm not entirely dead, I'm just mostly dead, as I have to make my way through the rest of the entire spire. Things are looking quite bad for Soldier Bird Boy. I don't know why, but the mask makes him look like a birdman. Free block as long as I don't block on my own. I am 100% forgetting that. Some cards. Get stronger when the enemy intends to attack. Sounds like a fine deal. Most things in here are going to want to eat my head or my feet or my stomach or my whatever. They can't eat the brain, it's already gone. I sold it to the whale. Second boss right away, and the challenge was going to the second boss or no balls. But then we instantly run into triple blue balls. I guess that is also a curse of some kind. These guys are mechanical nerds that do things. Guard the spire. Guard parts of the spire from angry bird boys. I have my one rage card and that's what I'm basing my entire personality on. But this is going to take 17,000 years. So the curse of blue balls means you do everything more slowly. They are filling up my deck with trash. It was probably trash anyway. If there's some gold in there, I don't know how to use it, so... But we have slain the triple mechanomatron dudes that are guarding the spire. We can move further up in the spire. We get some free armor. And another cleave block at the end of a turn. Is that any good? Again, it's so hard to choose cards. What am I doing? Let's just invest in the rage card. It's free. I can use that with no drawbacks. I don't have to think. As a sail though. Vulnerable, but it's more energy. That's surely more good. Unless this is now the curse of bad decisions. But that is on me, not the game so much. Mushrooms? Anger the mushrooms. Okay, more bad decisions. Pick up a curse or become cursed. No, pick up a curse or summon the cursed, because these are some nice cursed mobs. The rats are super dead since a long time. They have rotted inside the tower or whale or wherever we are, and mushrooms have grown out of them, taken over. So the mushrooms are sentient and they are buffing themselves, because they're not buffing the rats, they are long dead. And because the dude in the back is buffing, we can slap his cursed friends out of existence. And we can question, are the mushrooms running any more things in here? There are a lot of them in the background. Is this like... Is it in Warhammer that orcs and goblins are made from mushrooms? And then we could grow ourselves a tiny goblin boy, which could be my squire, my card squire. And I can blame every poor decision on him. That sounds amazing. What a nice, fancy slime bag. I don't know how cursed he really looks. Not the most, I mean, he's nice and dressed up. But slime is made from leftover goo. And this can be whatever is left after the mushroom has eaten everything there is in a rat. It could be whatever is left of the challengers that has failed their run through the spire. Or it's just the combined total of whatever the whale ate after she has eaten every slain enemy. So the slime curse is just a melting pot where everything else blended together. And there is absolutely no chance at all that a combination like that is not cursed. And now the slime is very angry, because if he sees himself or itself, whatever, as one whole, nice and pure entity, and I'm coming in here with my theories that you are made of all the leftover crap from everything else in this entire spire, I understand why he is now slightly angry, but I am the one with the anger cards, and we have split him at 54 health, which I assume is terrible. I'm here for science and bad decisions and cursing things, not so much for a good place. But if anyone is up to the challenge, you can step in and attempt to educate an internet clown with the brain of a goblin. That's another curse you want to avoid. Curse of the clown. Whatever kind of clown, they are all bad. Maybe it's just the curse of stupidity, which is an extension of the curse of bad decisions, where I make so many bad decisions that there's now no brain capacity left to work with. Is there a strategy here? Should I be killing a specific type of slime first? Because they do different debuffs at the very least, what I can see. So far, for a half-blind run, things are going reasonably well, I think. I don't know how well they are supposed to go. I only know that this gets a lot harder. I've seen the ascension thing, I think I did level 1 maybe. But here we're splitting the other slime. So we stop his things. I like the design of these guys though. I think I would prefer to be the one with the mouth, because having 4 eyes, sure, wow, very cool vision. But if I can't eat anything, surely I'm dead in no time at all. We can get in some rage going, we can do a nice big old cleave across all of them, and finish with a touch of anger. Very ragey, angry run for now. Another berserk. More energy. Definitely is more good. And what do we have here? More energy during elite combats. More energy, but you can't see enemy intent. That's wild. Gamble on most of my cards. That sounds fun. Also sounds dumb, but it's again. Now we have the curse of choices. Have I ruined my entire deck, or is it now infinitely better? The perfect strike will do absolutely nothing, because I nuked every single strike I owned, but we got the feed card for free. A baseball. Why are you here? The curse of blue balls on steroids. We now have other balls with balls orbiting the other new balls. That's the mandatory ball quota filled, and I will no longer be sacked by Great Goblin Ball Corporation. I could have killed him, maybe. Math is hard. But I gain free block, and the block deals damage through a card, and all is fine. Again, adding too many cards is bad. It always just ruins everything. 1 out of 20 cards? Adding more cards is bad. Give me more cards. The brains on this boy, not very big. I like this, but I need the power that goes with it. So I'm thinking this, because cheap way to upgrade my stuff. And it gives me block, which does damage. That's a goblin. There are goblins in the tower. Fantastic. I don't have to grow a whole new set of goblins. And the perfected strike, which is really a disaster strike in my build of not a single strike, is finally purged from the deck. The balls are colluding. I don't know how cursed this is really, but a sentient alive baseball being orbited by 2 other baseballs and its blue ball overlord. It's too many balls. Bring me something else. Humans, not very cursed, but it's a good test for the very angry cleave build, where we can cleave 3 dudes into tiny pieces at the same time. We can eat an entire dude. Okay, now we're just recycling, because given that I don't make it out here alive, the whale is going to eat me anyway, and now I have that dude inside of me, so it's Eatception. And for deleting the green humans, which I assume maybe are zombies, that's kinda cursed, we get a fruit. How am I going to slay an entire spire with a pear? Strike cards deal more damage. We now have also the curse of terrible loot. But it's all fine, because we probably need this blue thing anyway. But there are some good pieces, like armaments. I can buff everything, upgrade the cards even, what that means. Double rage, well then I don't really have any attacks this turn, of course. There's a curse also of the order what you draw the cards in, which I understand is also partially on me and how I build the deck, but it's going to be a random mess of a terrible deck, probably, with some good things when the stars align. And they do sometimes. That's the reverse of a curse. We get a blessing instead, where I have more energy than I can spend, but I also have a draw thing, which did damage because of another combo thing. I'm more vulnerable and a cleave, and just be more angry and everything is fine. And the angriest man in the entire spire gets a pet rat. But we already know what happens to the rat, so surely it's a liability to bring that guy. He's just gonna turn into a sentient mushroom and eat my entire face at any time. The plants are also alive, it's not only the mushrooms. Who runs all the plant life? Is there a cursed gardener? Is it the space whale again with great gardening powers? Either way, things that are supposed to be just nice and pretty scenery are alive and trying to eat me whole. While we are traversing through an entire city now that is somehow inside a spire that I still think is inside a whale. The curse is spreading, and the logic is lacking, and it's only going to get worse. Surely I don't need to know the game inside and out to make a good deal. This is just business, I can handle that. But there's something that's not for sale, the mat that all the cards are on. Because that's an exploit. You buy the mat, you get the whole shop. Or do I get to be the shopkeeper? Maybe that's better. Just sit on a mat inside of wherever I am. Sell some cards. Scam some nerds out of all their cash. But the best part here is, whatever decision I make in this shop, someone is gonna know it's a terrible move. So we can add a bad business curse. Or maybe that's just again the internet clown with a goblin brain picking up something so bad that it will be my downfall. And falling off the entire spire is probably going to hurt. There's a lady dressed as a bird, and a bird waving two sticks with a very, very bald head. So the curse of baldness has struck, which has hit that guy, all the goblins, but also me. Breaking the fourth wall to curse myself with baldness is maybe one step too far. Big nasty boss time. A dude with evil green eyes in a robe. Is he cursed to be a nerd? The eternal nerd, sitting on a giant bird skull, which immediately confirms the bird curse. The birds were having a good time, but then this overlord arch-nerd sapped the biggest bird brain out of the sky, ate its brain for questionable powers, and now he rules this city of weird, bald bird people. That is reasonably cursed. I'll look at this draw. Double juggernaut for... that's reflect damage, right? Maybe not the best play, but it's interesting. I'm sure that could be a custom build where you could just go in and try to beat everything by only reflecting damage. Is that something you would like to see more of? Custom builds, Ascension, other classes, whatever else this game has to offer? Or are you only here for the curse? He has also brought two mechanical dude with torches for heads. They are mildly cursed. What was that, 21 damage? Okay, yeah, he was spellcasting, right? He's a nerd. I remember, maybe. And as is tradition, I'm instantly wrong on the cards. It does damage when I gain block, but when I end my turn, the green bar at the top gives me block if I don't have any shields and I have some plated armor. So ending the turn does 28 damage, that's pretty cool. Is the end turn button the strongest card I have? That will also be a disaster of a build. Throw in some anger, spawn some more anger. Body smash him, he's summoning more torch nerds. But I think we can just cleave his brains out before he can do anything else. Nice. Have we freed the birds from the curse? Did we end the curse? I don't think I'm allowed to do that. That's against everything I stand for. Another berserk. All the berserk, all the energy, all the time. But cursed to be vulnerable and to eventually get deleted. Is anything safe? Mark of pain? An empty cage. Who was in the cage? And when I shove some cards into the cage, do they become birds, like origami birds? But card-based, carrying a different curse depending on what the original card was. So we create even more bad, bald, broken bird business blasphemy. In the spire we find a magical stone that offers to stab me a little bit or a little bit harder in return for a card. That is some kind of curse. Choose random cards. Okay. This is where the madness sets in, where you just gamble on all random cards and apply some vulnerable. That means I can slap things harder. That is something I understand. Very nice. Darklings. Okay, these are linked, and they are also... someone incinerated all the slime bags and then gave them a brain parasite. Very cursed, but also quite cool. They are linked together by the single brain cell that they share. And all we need to do is to slap them all out of existence simultaneously. And where are we now? The Beyond, but the entire interior is now made of bones. Looks like the eye and mouth of some kind of huge bird thing up in the left corner. So knowing absolutely nothing, I'm going to conclude that yes, we are inside the whale, and the whale is some kind of void portal into this Beyond, as it's called. That way, everything, the entire universe, multiple universes can exist inside the whale while I'm climbing the whale to reach the spire, which is on top of the whale. It's a big task to climb this thing. More body slams seems like a good card to me. Specifically, the rug is not for sale. But we can buy strengths. Am I buying steroids? It's not very cursed, but it's probably illegal. Can we get the shopkeeper to do some jail time for that? Because then I could also get the mat that he's just taunting me with every single time I show up. Use my random generator card to get yet another berserk for all the energy that I can't use. might as well get an attack instead. But who is this guy, Nemesis? Is it reverse, backwards me, or just a dead, twice as fat version of me? Here to slay me, sent by the whale, or whoever runs the spire. Sent by the actual spire, maybe. Either way, I am perfectly capable of defeating me on my own. I don't need Ghost Me to also show up and slap me out of existence. And this thing is illegal. No, intangible every other turn. He might be illegal as well as a ghost. How legal are ghosts? Do we have a ghost lawyer in here that can find out? But we have a big problem now of on the turn where I can damage him, I draw mostly other cards. And on the turns when I need to block, I don't draw any block. But the boot should be fantastic here, right? Because he only takes 1 damage when he's intangible. The boot does not care, it will deal 5 anyway. That's 5 times the value out of a boot that I got for free. Pretty good. Ghostly armor, hopefully specialized in dealing with ghosts. And on top of everything, I have an actual interesting build. So if I use the rage card here now in anger, I deal 5 damage, I get some block, and then the block also deals damage to him. So the rage works with the boot, which was fine. But the block damage does not work with the boot. You cannot stick the boot on anything. You can stick the boot on a very, very angry card, but not on a shield reflect thing. And again I can maybe draw something cool. We can kill him, nice. Actual real me beats ghost me and we get a toxic egg. Very bad snack. Will it hatch a tainted bird brain if I just let it be? As I ramble my way through the spire, I slip and I fall out of the entire spire. Which is amazing because we practiced this, I already fell out once. Lose the berserk, which is all the energy. No, how about lose the enlightenment? Lose the only thing that would have given me more brain cells, but I have not successfully used that card once. Blue candle. Curses can be played. Damage my own face to drop a curse is sort of cursed. Nice. A fancy snake lady, a reptomancer because she summons snakes. But the snakes are daggers, not actually snakes. And the first thing my brain went to was a kleptomancer. So a lady who steals snakes. Then magically turns them into swords. That is also sort of cursed. Very creative though. And looking at the background here again, it's gotten even more. The tower is now more cursed. Spire. Sorry, I guess I'm offending spires worldwide by calling them towers. But the higher up I go, the wackier it gets. Now we have like half a baseball dude with his orbiting balls flying through the air. And we have also one of the blue ball guardians quietly glitching through the air. And the rest is just spines and skulls and all sorts of cool things. So many, many things have met their end here. But not me. Not yet at the very least. Add more random cards. Bad decision. Yes. Is it going in the deck? Also yes. We made it all the way through the Cursed Spire to the end of the Beyond, where we have a time snail as the big boss. He has a clock, a nice snail face, and a fancy robe. So whoever runs the Spire also has the ability to control time, and they chose to give that ability to a snail. That is one great big curse slapped upon all of us. We now have to live the rest of our lives in slow motion. Am I playing too many cards? Who knew that just a random deck of stuff was going to run into a problem eventually? Mr. Snail Face will just lock me out after I play 12 cards, force my turn to end, and buff himself. We are now playing How Not to Slay the Spire. So I am terrible at this, but maybe all I need is just more confidence. Let's create the greatest, the most tremendous Slay the Spire player the world has ever seen. We shall call him Ronald Dunn. I don't just slay spires, I build them, I own them, all of them. I have slain so many spires you wouldn't believe it. Millions, probably billions. People are saying I'm the best at slaying spires. Some say I invented it. Some very smart people, the best people. And my cards, My cards are unbelievable. They play themselves, they destroy everything, they are so powerful, the enemies surrender before I even play them. Some call it cheating, I call it winning. When I arrived at the Spire, and I didn't walk to the Spire, I was carried by my presidential bald eagle that is also 4 guns, but mostly an eagle. The moment I arrived at the Spire, it slayed itself out of respect. Then the eagle carried me to the very top of the Spire, where I did what any great winner would do. I built the most luxurious, 5-star, absolutely stunning Spire resort and casino, with a golf course. A beautiful golf course, the best one. It's so nice, even the enemies want to check in and they refuse to leave. They're saying, "Tronald, we love it here. We never want to fight again." And I say, of course you do. This is the best Spire resort in any multiverse you can imagine, even in some that you cannot imagine. And now I rule the Spire forever, because when you are the best, when you're number 1, when you're a tremendous, amazing winner, why would you ever leave? And back in the actual game, confidence didn't work. All I got was the curse of overconfidence, which brings us to 33. It had to be the hardest number to say of them all, of course. Is that a lot? Who knows? We need some other games to compare to first. If you enjoyed this cursed journey through the Spire, let me know what you would like to see more of. And if you would like to watch another cool roguelike game with some extremely bad decisions, check out this Peglin run where I built the worst build of all time. Thank you for watching.